Comment on a video asking about how would I go about learning Dutch. I'm living in the Netherlands, and I don't know what level this you are at Dutch, but the thing I'm going to talk about in this video is applicable to any language, not only Dutch, and it's if you're basically a complete beginner. Okay, so I'm a total complete beginner. In fact, I don't even know how to pronounce this stuff necessarily. Really, I could really use the help of like my neighbor here. Like if I invite that person over for coffee and they're willing to sit down and help me work through this. But the point is the first thing that would want to do in any language, I should be able to answer my first 10 questions in that language. If I can't answer my first 10 questions in the new language that I'm learning, then I wouldn't do anything other than that. Like I would stop anything else. Like I feel like no business doing anything other than being able to answer my first 10 questions. Okay, so I just asked ChatGPT to give me 10 questions, and it says, what's your name? Where do you live? It's the typical stuff. And okay, I don't know the pronunciation, so I could use some help, but it looks like Hohit or Hohate. I'm gonna say Hohit Yi. Okay, Varvunye. Hood Benye. All right, let's pretend that that's correct. Right, Wat is je favoriete eten? This is a treasure trove of patterns, of grammar patterns, and vocabulary. These 10 questions hold within them the DNA of the whole language. Maybe not the whole language, just in these 10, but a good amount of it. It's like a nice sample set. It's like a nice few strands of DNA that we can use to predict how other things are going to be said in the language. So my grammar lesson is built into the conversation. I'm not saying learn grammar. I'm not trying to learn grammar first so that I can speak the language. Let me start to speak the language and learn the grammar from that. It's the idea of putting the cart before the horse, or putting the horse before the cart. Putting the horse before the cart means thinking about what you want to say and actually saying it, and saying it with real people right away as whenever possible. In other words, actually using the language first and then learning the language as like the tail of that, like the wake. Like imagine like the boat going through the water that leaves a wake behind. The wake is the learning of the thing. Where you want to go comes first. We're putting the horse before the cart. Okay, so I said, give me 10. I started a spreadsheet. So questions, answers. I would recommend starting this exact template. This the simplest template I have. I've actually a bunch of templates, but this is going to be the simplest possible template. It's the Q&A chart. So a question here, answer there. So ho hit yi, right? Something like how do you call yourself? I'm guessing, right? I call Tony, something like that. Mine, right? Ik heet Tony. Hate heat, all right? Var von ye, and so on. So I'm not gonna even do this right now, of course. I would like to separate. I'd like to pick out the verb container of every answer, right? So heat, right? Or is. I'd highlight it. Again, fuchsia, right? Do you have brothers or sisters? It says. I say, yeah, I have. Ik heb. Another verb container. I speak English. Ik spreek. Spreek, however you pronounce that. So if you can say I speak English, you could say I speak French, or I speak this, or I speak that. Right? So very simple thing here. Questions, answers, and then highlight the verb starting. Because with the verb starting point or the verb container, vocabulary rotates around a verb. Like how something satellites rotate, moons rotate around a planet. Vocab orbits around a verb. So with that one verb, I speak, you could have a satellite that says I speak this, I speak that, I speak a little Dutch now, I speak a little this, speak a little that. Ik heb is another planet. All the things you have revolve around heb. All right? So let's call it three things. Do three things. Do questions, answers. No, four things. Verb and vocab. But if you had to take away one, take away vocab. and just let that be a variable. Like get the vocab that you need: pizza or tacos. See what I mean? Question, answer, verb, vocab in that order. That's the first thing I would be doing, and then I'm looking to find those people that I can speak Dutch with no further ado, without any without waiting to get better. Like, oh, I'll start using, have that first conversation with my neighbor when I get better. No, start now, and that's how you get better.